A deep change in the way that we live requires a deep change in the way that we think. I'm Carla Reeves, and this is Differently. Hey, friend. It is the beginning of October if you're listening live, the beginning of a brand new quarter and the last quarter of the year. And every quarter, I want to give you something to pause and reflect on. Because it's so easy to get swept into the push, the deadlines, the busy, the to-do lists, the spinning in our heads. And if you're anything like me and many of the people that I work with, life can start to feel heavy, scattered, and overwhelming. And I want this episode to be a reset for you, a chance to untangle your thoughts and realign with what matters most, to ensure that the motions you're making are leading to the life you want to be living now. So at the start of a new quarter is a perfect time for a big brain dump. When you have time, when you're seated and get some pen and paper or open up a Google Doc and empty your mind. All the things, all the to-dos, all the ruminations, the things you've been wondering about, the questions you have, just anything that's been stirring and spinning in your head, get it all out so that you can organize, discard, and realign your thinking to your goals for this quarter. Ruminations in my mind. Do you ever catch yourself creating problems or things to do that aren't even necessary? Or is that just me? Our brain is designed to solve problems. And friend, if it doesn't have anything to solve, it literally creates problems to solve. And it's really good at it. And it can be really sneaky and feel really purposeful when it's actually distracting and taking you off course. So pay attention. This quarter, while in the past, I've been so used to having goals and targets and numbers that I wanted to hit, but this one is different again. God continues to remind me to set down, trying to have it all figured out, and just trust and show up one day at a time and just do the next thing and then the next thing and the next thing. Friend, this is harder than it sounds. I will stroll along, staying in step for a few days or maybe even a week or two. And then boom, all the old ways of measuring that I've been accustomed to come back. And suddenly it makes me feel like I'm failing, that I'm off track. Because while a lot of growth and change is happening over here, it's not in the ways I used to measure. I'm holding plans loosely this quarter. I spoke at the Purpose Gathering last week, and if you haven't checked out the Purpose Gathering, reach out. I'd love to share more about it. It's a gathering of mom entrepreneurs, and sometimes we do live events. And these are female entrepreneurs who are moms who are also seeking to live out their faith in their business life too. And Ashley Freehand, she is the founder of the Purpose Gathering. She's been on the podcast here too. And she talked about holding plans loosely and reminded me about that. So I am practicing that, continuing to practice that this quarter and just staying fluid because our world just feels unpredictable and how technology is changing things so fast. I feel very much like it's a time to hold plans loosely and stay really fluid in what I'm doing. The other thing I'm doing is just focusing on staying in step with God, because I realize that if I do that, I have everything that I need. And taking care of my energy and staying in a rest and relaxed posture so that I can serve right where I am when it's needed, so that I'm available and present for that. Whether it's with a client inside of my business, inside my free class, with my grown children, in our marriage, or with the gal that's sitting next to me in Pilates. So friend, how about you? What are you hearing? Where are you feeling nudged? What's been stirring inside of you? Maybe you're sensing your approach needs to change in this season. Maybe it's a change of pace or a change of focus or a change of posture like me. And I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. But before we do that, I want you to also take a moment to highlight. If you have a pen and paper, great. If not, just kind of roll this around in your mind. What are the standout moments from this past quarter, big or small? And they might not all be even positive standout moments. There have been some big things that have happened in our life that should be changing us. Okay, next question is what does finishing strong this year or this quarter look like for you? It might not be what you think it is. And I just invite you to listen really closely. And then the last question is, what's one shift that you need to make in order for this to be real, in order to finish strong? Okay, so back to maybe you're sensing your approach needs to change this season. I want to give you some things to think about and to help you expand your perspective and just stir your thinking a little bit on this. So if it's a change of pace, maybe you just know your pace needs to change, that it's likely if you're listening to the podcast, your pace is probably too fast, but maybe you're listening and you feel like, gosh, I need to really pick up my pace. So for most of you, it's going to be, where could slowing down actually speed things up for you? But maybe if you're feeling the other way, maybe your question is, where could speeding up help you push through something you've been procrastinating? How could adding speed actually help you push through something you've been resisting? If it's a change of focus that you want to bring into this last quarter, ask yourself, where is my focus? Is it on what's going right or is it on what's going wrong? Am I focused on things working out or things falling apart? Am I focused on places where I have very little or no control? Or am I focused on the places where I actually have influence? These are the questions I love to ask on the regular. And lastly, if it's a posture change, here's what I like to ask. A posture change is about literally changing your mental posture to whatever it is that you're approaching so that it can change your energetic posture too and the actions that you're actually taking. So what I like to ask myself here is, one, what do I want to feel in this last quarter? What feeling do I want to generate to finish strong? And if it might be peace, or it might be ease, or it might be love, or it might be joy. Whatever that word is, you land on your word. And then I'm just going to give you some questions that you can ask, but make these your own. So one would be like, what would peace do here? If I want to bring peace to something, that's a great question. What would peace do here? If I want more love, I would ask, how would love lead in this situation, or in this challenge, or in this circumstance? Or if I want to add more joy to my life, I always ask, what would joy do? And just, friend, listen closely and write down what you hear. These can be really powerful questions. So take a deep breath with me. What came up for you? And I want to just thank you for spending this time to just pause, to get a little calmer, a little clearer, and a little more ready to take your next step into this new quarter. And if you found this reflection helpful, you will love my free monthly class. It's a space to slow down and write and reset together. You can find the link in the show notes. We have one coming up on October 16th. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to explore in your own life deeper, but have a thought partner next to you, explore private coaching with me. It's where these little shifts turn into lasting change. And remember, until next time, stop surviving your life and start creating it. I have one last thing before you go. Would you please leave a 5-star review for the podcast with some comments? I would love that so much. I would be so very grateful. And that's for those of you who have been listening for a while. Or maybe you just hopped on to this episode, but it made a difference for you. Have an amazing day, and I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Differently. Hey, if you're ready to stop circling the same thoughts and start creating real momentum, check out my coaching experiences. There's a 12-week experience for a big shift, or there's a monthly writing and coaching partnership for ongoing clarity, creativity, alignment, and momentum. You can find all the details at carlareeves.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, please help me grow the podcast and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and share with someone you love. Until next time, stop surviving your life, start creating it.